Right now I'm standing in front of the Whaley Museum at the front of the court. We're gonna experience all the haunted stuff in here. But you gotta use your sight, you gotta use your imagination and focus what's your surrounding. But you might not see anything, but you're gonna feel something inside. I did an interview one of the people to see what they have. Price here, the entrance is like $16 per person. And it's not a bad gig, I think you should get to experience it. It's right outside the old town, San Diego. It is haunted. What's your kind of like scary events that happen here to you?
Well, you know, we tend to get a lot of sounds. We sometimes hear the organ playing on arbitrary times. Women have experienced their hair being tugged upstairs. There are a lot of pictures that people end up taking that actually show faces in the background. You will also find clothes being tugged at. There's a little toddler that runs around here. There are also dogs that are often in the dining room, and they'll brush up against you as well. So there are all kinds of things. Mainly what we recommend is you coming here, taking your time, and taking a lot of pictures. That is the true way. And to use your senses. All your senses should be really attuned at that time.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So imagine it's right there. At that time, everything was really down at the end of the street where that little town square is, and that's also where the first courthouse was. At that time, this property was San Diego's execution grounds. So criminals would be tried down there and sent out here to be hanged on the gallows. Not only did Thomas Whaley know this, but he was actually here to witness the last of 3 executions that took place here, and afterwards decided to buy the land because it was very cheap at only $1.50 an acre.
What the?
Yes. In total, bought 8 acres for $12, built a home for about $10,000, and as the family lived here, they faced a lot of tragedy, and there were 5 deaths inside the home, leading it to become quite haunted, and it is now, of course, America's most haunted house. You guys will follow me right on this way. Moved here around the 1960s to be preserved, because where they were located, they were going to be demolished. This yellow one right back here is our museum shop, but was once a private residence in Little Italy named the Whaley House for its former owner, Miss Verna. Right over here we have the Creole Cafe, a really good restaurant, but was once 2 separate false front businesses. We believe those were located down near one of the harbors. One side is known to have been an apothecary and brothel. The other side is believed to have been a gun shop or something similar. Right over here we have what is now our offices, and it also holds the staging area for our paranormal investigation tours. It was once another private residence named the Derby Pendleton House for 2 of its former owners, George Derby and George Pendleton. Now that one didn't actually move too far. It's on the same street it was built on, but it would have been about 4 blocks up that way, which is now where that highway stands. You guys will follow me right on over this way. Hatches in this brick path all the way. There actually was an excavation done. So every summer between 2007 and 2011, SDSU's Archaeology department came out here to dig, and they found over 80,000 artifacts. Things like dishes, even soda bottles, makeup, nail polish, small toys. Some of those things will be on display upstairs in our dig room. Now they decided on this area for a few reasons, one being that the family's well would have been right about there, and when they stopped using it for water, they kind of turned it into a trash pit. Another reason was because right where this brick building stands, the family's outhouse would have stood. And this is here as a visual aid, but we do know that the real one was about the size or so, a rectangular with 8 seats and no partitions, but ultimately a big room of toilets and no privacy. Over to my right, we have this white attachment to the side of the home called a lean-to kitchen, rebuilt based on Thomas Whaley's blueprints, but would have been made of lightweight wood so that in the event of a kitchen fire, you could pull it off the house and your whole house wouldn't burn down. They, of course, would have done all of their cooking in there. In the colder months, they would have brought their laundry inside and done that in there as well. And if you look right over there, there is an old wash station. We do also know of a few different as you guys follow me this way, definitely feel free to take a peek in that way. Very similar to the type that would have been used in conjunction with the gallows. I won't go too in depth on that, but if you want to talk about it, definitely come ask me. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Right over here, we also have a holding cell, which seems extremely out of place, but as the family lived here, they did actually have one here, as they rented out a portion of their home as San Diego's second courthouse, which we will be headed into right now. So I do have a few museum rules for you guys at this point. Basic things, please no eating, drinking, or smoking in the house. We ask that you please don't touch the artifacts or go into roped off areas, but you are more than welcome to take pictures, videos, and audio recordings. If you do need to take a seat at any point, there will be benches right in this first room and downstairs in the theater as well. Oh, it's a spider web. Right, and other food items. However, they did not put the foundation, so it also had a lot of rats, and that's when they made the decision to start renting it out instead. It did have a lot of uses, but was most notably that courthouse for about 3 years, from 1869 through 71. Kind of strange to have in your house, but you will see that that is the theme here. As you go around, you will of course see the dining room and the kitchen. You'll see bedrooms upstairs, and along with some exhibit rooms. But you'll also see San Diego's first commercial theater upstairs, and right in this next room, Thomas Whaley's General Store. As you go around the house, you will also find these text panels on the walls. They will continue to explain the history, but if you do have any questions at all, there will be a few of us around. We're more than happy to answer those for you. If you're interested in the paranormal side, I do recommend talking to one of us. These will focus more on history, but also, as cheesy as it sounds, take pictures and use all of your senses. People do see things here, but it's much more common to have those other experiences. For example, I get my hair played with a lot.
But sometimes you get your hair what?
Hair played with. So it can be something like that. You might smell things even, like cigar smoke or lavender perfume. Sometimes people hear music or singing or footsteps. Even just like feelings of emotions that aren't yours, or some people get touched in other ways, so that can be cool. Yeah.
Like a YouTuber came here and supposedly like somebody, like a man dressed in all black, so it's like a corner of it.
So we've heard that a couple times. We are not 100% sure who it is, but it's kind of believed that it's the oldest son, Frank, because he did die in this room. He had kind of turned it into an apartment and was living in here while doing renovations on the rest of the house. But we have heard of that a few times, or I've had people just say they have seen a man like sitting with his legs crossed, things like that over there. So, did you guys have any other questions before you start out?
Nancy, I have a question.
No? All right.
Is this all the furniture from back then, or is it like a replica?
So everything in the house is from the time period. Not everything was the Whaleys. The only replicas are like the places you can sit, or some of the random stuff in the general store, like the food items. This court furniture, for example, is from 1872, the year after the court was here, because it's from the third courthouse. So once they left here, they went to Newtown, which is now the downtown Gaslamp area, and got new furniture, and that's what this is. There are a few pieces that we do think were original to when it was here, like this table and chairs, but we're still doing some research on it. We're not quite sure. And you'll see like some of the main pieces that were the Whaleys, like right in this next room, that desk was Thomas's. And in the parlor, you'll see an organ, which was Anna Whaley's. That's older than the house. But you'll also see a room fully dedicated to a lot of their smaller belongings, and then other items are mixed throughout the house.
How many executions were done here?
3 that we know of. So there could have been more for sure, but we only know, those ones are the only ones documented. We have one Verdugo, Bill Marshall, and Yankee Jim Robinson. And Yankee Jim Robinson was the one that Thomas Whaley was here to witness. And they're all buried down the street at El Campo Santo Cemetery too. So definitely a good follow-up. Did you guys go there?
Oh, yeah.
Right up the street? Yeah.
So after this came out museum, did they ever found like human parts somewhere?
No.
Or they were digging or
No, not that I know. They found a lot of animal bones because at the time they didn't know. I guess they didn't really have much. So if you had a kid, you just throw the like chicken bones and stuff out the window when you were kind of making dinner and stuff. So they did find a lot of stuff like that, but no human remains. So. Not to say they're not here, they only dug one patch, but so, yeah. Well, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the house. I'll still be around if you guys do have any questions. But whenever you're ready, you can feel free to head right through that doorway.
I'm by myself right now at the courthouse. So I'm a little scared right now because this place is considered to be one of the haunted places. According to that lady, the tour guide, that there's something that's always touching her hair. She said that go by sight, and that's how we're gonna feel the presence of the ghost. We're gonna talk a little bit of history. I'll stay focused on my surroundings.
I was glad when I stopped by the Whaley Haunted Museum, so I may share my experience with the public. The Whaley House is known to travelers and broadcasted by the local legend as the most terrifying home in America. I enjoyed the 5 minutes orientation provided by the staff. Feel free to scope the area afterwards. When entering, the first thing you will see is the courtroom. Yankee Jim was the first person found guilty of stealing a boat. In the early years of sentence by the court system, brutal death is the price of hanging or execution style.
I'm standing in the very corner right now at the court. I could feel goosebump right now. I could feel a sense of coldness right now in the back of my neck. Maybe you might see something in the camera. I'm behind the scene. I'm getting scared right now. Anyway, let me show you around a little bit, okay? I'm gonna stay quiet.
The authority places rope around the neck to make the last word of the citizen. Deputy Smith did not allow him to complete his sentence before hanging. Since the sudden death, the house became condemned with evil spirit. At midnight, when people are trying to get some sleep, they would hear footsteps walking the hallway. Lights would turn off and on in all the rooms.
Right now I'm looking at the living room here. And as you can see, they have all this old clothes that they have. It reminds me a little bit of the Winchester in the film with the dress that they had back then. It's a wearing all black dress. Right now I'm looking at the kitchen. It's a little dark over here. Kind of scary because it's the lights kind of like turning off and on a little.
Thomas Whaley was the owner of the house. He was a wealthy man during his time. He owned a store that generated revenue to his business. Thomas usually hang out at the store. When there are no customer, he relaxes in the living room to read his newspaper.
I'm standing right now in the middle of the court in the dining room. This is like the hallway. Oh, I can feel some bad senses in this place. Let me make some more videos in this place.
While in the present, a caretaker named Victor Santana patrolled the house at night shift. Victor witnessed a glowing man standing in the hallway, staring at him directly in the eyes. He appeared to be Thomas, who recognized him from the picture displayed on the wall. Victor screamed, "What do you want?" and turned on the fire alarm, then ran out the house quickly.
I'm about to go upstairs to see what's going on up there, okay? But first time going up there, I'm a little nervous right now.
Ghosts are present because they do not acknowledge that they are already dead. The dead are attracted to old places and antique furnitures. If you purchase a piece of old furniture, beware that the spirit may follow you. A prime example is the piano. It was a cult classic film industry used for Gone with the Wind.
I feel a little lightheaded right now. Piano is playing by itself. It has a little damage in it, but as you can see, they kept the original piano back in the days. The real still mint condition. The auditorium, they have like a little video here to entertain them. Oh, when you get to the second floor, it's like you're gonna feel lightheaded. It's like something's like pulling you down, a little bit.
Mr. Whaley had a daughter named Violet. She committed suicide due to failed marriage. She used a gun to take her life away. The tragic death was unbearable. One night, an officer was walking and saw a girl dressed in white crying. When the cop approached her and asked, "Are you okay?" the lady smiled and vanished unexplainably. Is it the ghost of Violet herself? Who knows? the story remains a mystery.
I really enjoy the tours here because they give you a brief and then they let you experience everything on your own. That's the way it's supposed to be, and so you could experience everything for yourself. This place is really, really nice. I really like it. The only thing they don't have, I don't think they have a gift shop here for you to buy a souvenir. But hey, the picture itself is already good as it is. Whaley Museum and the Winchester is one of the most scariest places here in the United States.